Hey guys, what's going on? So today I have the next part of my CD collection. So yeah, last time we left off on Deicide, I want to say, so still got a lot more D bands to get through, a lot of really good shit in this video. So yeah, background, we're listening to Gorgasm, Stab Wound Intercourse, classic EP. So first up, we have another classic EP actually, one of my favorites, and it's actually signed. This is Deprecated with Deriding His Creation. This is the new reissue that NSE put out earlier this year, which I'm really glad they reissued this, the original recording, because the easiest way to get this EP is the shitty re-recording that was put out through Unique Leader that I don't really care for. But really good shit. I got it signed by AJ Magana, although it's kind of smeared. But I got it signed by him when my band opened for Violently Vomit a couple months ago. So that was really fucking cool. But yeah, classic shit. You know, technical, similar to like Disgorge or Deeds of Flesh, but a little slower, kind of like Pyrexia pace, I would say. I like how you have all the thank yous are like shaped like a circle, like the behind the disc. I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that behind Deeds of Flesh, not Trinity Pieces, I'm stupid. Behind Gradually Melted, I'd say this is like the best brutal death metal, the second best brutal death metal EP. But yeah, fucking Induced Deception. That song goes so hard. Great bass tone on this. Some of my favorite bass tone in all of fucking metal in general. Great vocal performance from AJ Magana, although he hadn't quite found his style yet, which you'd hear on Disgorge, Consume the Forsaken is kind of when that started, but still great vocals from him. Drum work is really interesting. Honestly, out of everything on here, I'd say probably the guitars are like the least interesting thing about this EP, but they're still sick. But like the bass, drums, and vocals are really where this the strong suit of this release is. But yeah, Deprecated, Deriding His Creation, classic. Next up, we got Devangelic with Resurrection Denied. If you don't know Devangelic, pretty cool. Like, I guess you could. I haven't listened to their other albums. I really should. But this is like some like Disgorge worship. I'm not usually huge on worship bands, but these guys do it really well, and they're not like 1000% worship. Like, there's a lot of riffs that sound very similar, and the drums especially are really similar to like Consume the Forsaken and She Lay Gutted. But the vocals don't really sound like Disgorge vocals. The vocalist from this band was also in Trinity, but his vocals are a little more discernible on here though. But there's the album cover, anti-religious stuff. This was put out through Comatose Music in, I don't remember what year this came out. This says 2014. I don't know if it's a reissue or not, but I know that they are a newer band. Yeah, really cool shit. Really smooth, clean sort of production. It's got a nice punch to it. I really like the snare sound on here. Very almost organic sounding. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I don't listen to this one a ton, but it is a very nice listen once in a while. You know, pretty similar to that early 2000s Unique Leader style of brutal death metal. Just great shit. But yeah, I don't have much else to say about this one. Devangelic, Resurrection Denied. Ooh, now we have arguably my favorite CD in my entire collection. This one is like super sentimental to me. It's the album that made me. It's the album that made brutal death metal my favorite genre of music. Devourment 138. I have the Unmatched Brutality version of it. I remember I got this when I was like 16 and fucking, oh my god, I was obsessed. So I guess I'll just show everything, but slipcase. I love this Majewski art so much. Actually, I have this artwork as in black and white as like the wallpaper on my phone. Yeah, fucking Molesting the Decapitated and the Impaled demo and the original version of Baby Killer. I mean, you can't go wrong. I don't know what you're doing watching my channel if you've never listened to Devourment, but fucking, oh my god, one of the best bands to get you into this style. One of the most extreme too, but fucking so catchy. I mean, the title track on Molesting the Decapitated, just fucking absurd, scary sounding. I mean, Ruben Rosas' vocals are nuts. Band photos. Wayne Knupp, also his vocals on Baby Killer and on the demo are also fucking absolutely savage. Can't think of a better word to describe. Great lyrics. I mean, they're dumb slam lyrics, but they're written so memorably, honestly. Really edgy, but with a lot of charm. Love that shit. Choking on Bile. Fucking love that song. Fucked to Death. Great breakdown. Crazy vocals. I could talk all day about how much I love Devourment and this album in particular, and how much of an impact this album has had on my songwriting, and just, I don't know, this album made me want to play brutal death metal. I mean, I just remember listening to this when I was like 15, 16 for the first time and just thinking like, fuck, I want to make something this sick, you know? It's like one of those things where like you hear a song that's so good you wish you wrote it, you know? That's me with fucking early Devourment. But yeah, always gonna love this shit. Fucking, God, I don't think a single week goes by that I don't listen to at least like one Devourment song. It's been that way for the past like 3 years. But yeah, Devourment 138. And then the other thing I have from them on CD, I have the Yellow Butcher of the Week, Unleash the Carnivore, and the newest one, Obscene Majesty, on vinyl. But the other thing I have from them on CD is really cool, also pretty rare. The blue original version of Butcher of the Week, the first press, not the shitty that new Corpse Gristle digipack that literally, like, you can see the spine of it when it's laying flat. So bad. But yeah, this is the original self-released version of Butcher of the Week. I know a lot of people will be a little contrarian and say, oh, like, this is like eons better than the yellow one. I still think the yellow one's really good. In fact, the yellow one's actually the first thing I heard from Devourment, and the album that got me into them. But and I think that there's some things they added to the songs instrumentally that really made it better on Yellow Butcher of the Week. But this one has like a really nice rawness to it. It's a little grittier sounding, I would say. But yeah, I think the album cover also looks better in blue. Cool side text that says a supreme incursion of torturous sensory abrogation. There's the back, random little Dimebag Daryl thing right there. It's funny. A picture of the band. Of course, this is with Mike Majewski on vocals. Bit of a lineup change, and Ruben Rosas moved from vocals to guitar. But yeah, it's not the most expensive thing ever to get. I think the CD usually goes for like $30+, but you know, it's still cool to have something that's like a little harder to get from Devourment. I mean, I need to get an original press Molesting the Decapitated. That's like my most wanted CD, but I don't have that kind of money right now. But yeah, this is a really good album though. I don't think it's as good as Molesting the Decapitated, but this is like the second best though, obviously. Masturbating at the Slab is great. Serial Cocksucker. My favorite song on here is probably Autoerotic Asphyxiation, and of course Baby Killer. One of the things I actually really prefer about this one over the Yellow Butcher of the Week is Ruben Rosas has a few vocal parts in here. Like on a Baby Killer, he has some vocals. There's a version on YouTube that has Wayne Knupp and Mike Majewski. I think it might have Ruben too, I'm not sure. I think it was recorded as like a demo before they released this or something. It's like really fucking good though. But yeah, Devourment, Butcher of the Week. Next up, we got Disavowed, their first two albums. I don't really care much about their newest one that they put out, like, I think it was last year. But the first two are really good. Perceptive Deception, and I always forget the title of this one, Stagnated Existence. This one fucking rules. You know, fucking very, very typical early 2000s unique leader style, brutal death metal. You know, really suffocation-y, really fast and technical, but also very catchy, maze-like song structures. Really catchy vocals on this one. Also love the John Zig artwork. Really sick. Reason Rejected, Rhizome, Unfolding Disposition. There's so many great songs on here. Really great songwriting on this, actually. Like, the songs on here are genuinely catchy, as fast and technical as they are, which is one of the things I really like about this style of brutal death metal, really. I know a lot of people don't like this album because of the vocals, which I think is kind of weird. I mean, they're very, very groovy sort of vocals. I don't know how to explain it. If you've heard this before, you know what I mean. Like, it almost sounds like he's rapping. But I think it sounds really fucking cool. Yeah, this is definitely the best thing Disavowed ever put out. Perceptive Deception. Now, Stagnated Existence is still very good, but I don't really ever listen to this one as much. It's just not as memorable to me. I feel like this one lacks a little bit of personality. It just sounds like your typical... What year did this fucking come out? Like, I think this one came out a little later, like mid-2000s, I want to say. I don't know, this one just doesn't have as much personality to it. It doesn't feel as heavily inspired. But it's still a solid album. There's nothing really wrong with it. I don't know, something about this one just doesn't click with me as much, but it's still very good. Biased Existence is sick. It's like the most popular song on here, but it is a very good one. Maybe it's the artwork. I don't know. The artwork on this one I feel isn't as interesting as like the first one. But there's a really funny, like absolutely brain dead lyric on here in Biased Existence. That's where is it? Oh yeah, this is your biased existence. Your existence is biased. Like, I don't know. It's so redundant. It's funny. Pretty cool band photo. But you know, your typical very blasty early 2000s brutal death metal. Still very good, but I usually throw this one on in like the background if I'm doing something. I don't usually go out of my way to listen to this one as much, but it's still good. But yeah, Disavowed, great band. Next up, we got all but one album from Disentomb. I don't listen to them as much as I did when I was first really getting into brutal death metal, but I still think they're very good. I don't have their debut as Sunken Chambers of Nephilim, which I should get that one sometime. It's really good. But I've got Misery. This is probably their best, and I don't think anybody would really disagree. It's their most popular, and for a reason. Put out through New Standard Elite in like 2014, I want to say. Really cool album, really unique for this style of technical brutal death metal. They have a personality of their own. I mean, when you hear bands like Defeated Sanity, Disgorge, Gorgasm, you know, they're recognizable because while they're all playing a similar style, they have their own little twist to it. Disentomb is no exception to that. Disentomb kind of falls into that category of like the fast blasty technical brutal death metal, but they have a really unique spin on it. They add a lot of melody and kind of funeral doom sort of elements, a little shoegazy sounding even at times. Really cool, unique stuff. Really like crazy, like not spazzy sounding, but like just like animalistic sounding vocals on here. I like a lot. Yeah, this is a really cool one. Vulture's Descend is a really cool song. I remember learning that one on guitar a few years ago. It's a fun one to play. But yeah, really good shit though. I don't know why with this CD, but there's like a really small scratch on one part here, and my CD player always has a hard time reading this one, even though it's not that bad of a scratch. I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, this is Disentomb, Misery. And then I have their third full length, which is also pretty good. The Decaying Light. This one was put out through Unique Leader. I think it's cool that this band is getting as big as they are, honestly. Because I've seen people talk about Disentomb who like aren't even really into brutal death metal, like people who just listen to like Gatecreeper and Blood Incantation know who Disentomb are. So I think it's cool that a brutal death metal band is getting that kind of recognition. But this one is pretty good. It's not as brutal as the first two. It's still blasty and stuff, but this one's even more melodic and I don't know if shoegazy is the right word, but it's pretty sounding, if that makes sense. But you know, it's really cool stuff though. Your Prayers Echo into Nothingness. That's a great song. But yeah, I need to listen to this one a little more. I've only listened to this CD a handful of times, but I remember really liking this album when it came out back in 2019. But yeah, really good. Disentomb, The Decaying Light. Alright. Oh, next up we have arguably my favorite death metal band. Okay, I'm going to be talking about this shit for a while. Hopefully not, because I'd like to get through more CDs, but... Okay, so we have all 4 albums from Disgorge, California. So first up, Cranial Impalement. Not my favorite release from them. It's probably like my 3rd favorite, but it still rules. Obviously, they didn't have Diego Sanchez or Ben Marlin yet on here, but you do have arguably Matty Way's best vocal performance. Definitely the lowest he ever went. And this is weird because it's considered a full length, but it's really an EP with a demo as bonus tracks. But still an amazing release though. Love this album cover. One of my favorite Zig pieces. There's the back, Atonement. Fucking. I remember learning that song on guitar when I was like 16 and kind of really good challenge and had a really big impact on my guitar playing, I guess. I don't know. I really love Disgorge's style of songwriting because the songs are very maze-like and not very much repeats, and they're really weird and angular, but at the same time, though, they're really catchy. It's weird how they've managed to have that sort of balance, but it's, in my opinion, I think that's really a mark of a band who knows what they're doing. But yeah, I love this release, though. This is probably the most, like, nasty-sounding Disgorge release, I'd say. But yeah, Cranial Impalement, love it. Next, we have an album that was my favorite from them for literal years, but it's probably my second favorite now. Mostly because I don't want to say I burnt myself out on it, but I kind of burnt myself out on it a little bit. But She Lay Gutted. I have this one, and then the next two albums I have signed as well. Cranial Impalement I didn't have signed because I didn't meet any of the members who played on this, but I have this one signed by Diego Sanchez, so that's fucking awesome. But yeah, love She Lay Gutted. Not a single bad song on here. Amazing guitar work, amazing artwork. Crazy fucking vocals from Maddie Way, just the sickest vocal patterns. Love the guitar tone on here, really sharp sounding, but also very scooped and has a lot of low end. Great bass tone on here. Fuck, I don't know if I could pick a favorite song. Revelations 18 is up there, the title track. Oh my god, that one riff in Exhuming the Disavowed, that riff that's like the I remember when I saw them live, fucking I didn't know what to fucking do when that riff hit, man. It's just so good. Compost Devourment, probably the grooviest Discord song. False Conception, some of Maddie Way's best work on vocals. Womb Full of Scabs, fucking really cool, slower part in the middle. Fucking, I love the like vocal interlude after Revelations 18, where there's like that spoken word but in like vocal voice sort of thing that Maddie Way does. I always thought that was really cool. But yeah, perfect album though, one of my absolute favorites. She Lay Gutted. Now we have my favorite Disgorge album, at least as of now. Consume the Forsaken. I have this one signed by both Diego Sanchez and AJ Magana. In my opinion, this is their masterpiece. This is their most complicated songwriting. It's their most punishing sounding. AJ Magana, arguably my favorite brutal death metal vocalist. Just super, super intense. Really choppy vocal patterns. Very hard to discern what he's saying. I know this is blasphemy to some, but I think he's even better than Maddie Way, honestly. Just super aggressive, really hateful sounding album. Love this shit so much. Really cool artwork. Yeah, while not quite as hook-laden as She Lay Gutted or Cranial Impalement, this album does have its catchy moments. Like Consecrating the Reviled has some really cool vocal patterns. Demise of the Trinity, great fucking drums in that song. The guitar work on this album is very impressive because not much repeats, and like they'll play, how do I explain this? Like Manipulation of Faith is a really good example of this, where they'll play a song, like a riff, like 4 times in a row, but each time they play it, they change a note or two, and it's really trippy if you're like learning songs from this album on guitar, but super impressive. But yeah, I love this album to death. I don't know what else I could really say about it. But yeah, Consume the Forsaken. A really hard album to get burnt out on too, also because of how complicated the songs are. They don't necessarily stick in your head, so I don't know. But yeah, I love this one so much. Consume the Forsaken. And then last, and probably least, but still a great album though, Parallels of Infinite Torture. I said that weird. Parallels of Infinite Torture. This one's been growing on me a little more lately. I do like it quite a bit. It's a little long for my taste. It's like 45 minutes long, I think. Which, in my opinion, an album from Disgorge should be like 20 to 30 minutes long, with how like dense and brutal the style is. But it's still a really good album, though. You know, it still sounds like Disgorge. I like how the artwork on like the booklet makes one big thing. But yeah, I like the re-recording of Atonement on here. It's really fast. What's his face? Levi's vocals aren't as good as Maddie Way or AJ Magana, but they're still good. He still fits the band very well. Fuck. Yeah, every song on here is pretty good. Descending Upon Convulsive Devourment is probably the most memorable. That's also probably because it's like the slowest one on here, but Revealed in Obscurity is sick. I like how they open up that song with the Divine Suffering riff, which is the riff that closed out the album before this, Consume the Forsaken. I think that's a cool kind of continuity thing. But yeah, this one isn't as memorable as the other three in my opinion, but it's still very good. It's just a little, I don't know, this one's a little more of a challenging listen because it's longer, the songs are longer. I don't know if I'd say it's more technical than Consume the Forsaken, but it's pretty close. But yeah, Parallels of Infinite Torture. I always thought it was a really cool album title. Alright, we're at like 20 minutes. I'll show like 2 more. Next up, I haven't listened to this one in a really long time. Dismember, Like an Ever-Flowing Stream, classic Swedish old school death metal. Not my favorite. It's pretty dry, but it is pretty good though still. I used to listen to this one a lot, like sophomore year of high school. Soon to Be Dead, Override of the Overture, Skin Her Alive, and So Is Life. I like how there's a bonus track called Justifiable Homicide, but not the Dying Fetus song. But yeah, you know, it's good OSDM. I'm not really ever in the mood to listen to something like this, but it's still cool. When I want Swedish OSDM, I usually just go for like the first 2 Entombed albums. I think those are way better. But this, you know, this is still good. Actually, I like the 2 albums after this more, like the Mellow Death one and then the Death and Roll album they did. I don't even remember the titles of either, but I think those are a little better in my opinion. But this is still good. But yeah, I was about to say Disentomb. Oh my god, my brain is fucked on brutal death metal. Dismember, Like an Ever-Flowing Stream. Alright, last but not least, we have a really unique one. Dripping with Disintegration of Thought Patterns During a Synthetic Mind-Traveling Bliss. That's a mouthful. One of the most unique slam albums you'll ever hear. This is like, the best way I can describe it is like acid slam. Really experimental and avant-garde, really weird. But once in a while they'll hit you with like a really heavy slam with a fucking crazy 808 bass drop. Stupid Weed album cover. I think the original is better even if it's like a weird computer graphic, but it's reissued. Ugly artwork, but I got the CD for cheap. I don't care much about the artwork on the original anyways. But yeah, I like that logo. You know, really cool stuff. This is like a once in a while sort of listen because of how strange it is. But I don't know what else I could say. Oh, there's the original album cover right there. But yeah, you know, if you like slam and you want something a little different with a little more, dare I say, emotion in it, I don't know how to explain it, but this album just has this really weird, like, existential sort of vibe to it. I don't know how to explain it. It just has this very spacey, trippy, drug-induced sort of feel to it. But I like it a lot. Dripping, I'm not going to bother saying the album title again. If you look up Dripping, this is like their only full length, so it's pretty easy to find. I don't know what else I could really say for this one. It's kind of an album you have to listen to the whole thing as well. The individual songs don't stand very well on their own. But yeah, you know, it's really weird and artsy sort of brutal death metal, which is very rare. But I think that's really cool. I kind of wish there was more stuff like this. Yeah, Dripping. Disintegration of Thought Patterns During a Synthetic Mind-Traveling Bliss. I could never fucking remember that album title, even though I've been listening to this one for like 3 years. But yeah, really cool stuff. But yeah, since we're at like 20 minutes already, I think I'll cut it off. Over 20 minutes, I'll cut it off here. I still got, next video we're gonna be going over like Dystopia and Dying Fetus. It's gonna be fun. But anyways, yeah, that's it for this video though. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.